afternoon, Wheatley Baptist Church. It's Pastor Dave here, and our Elders Council Chair, Clarence Weiler, and he's been good enough to join me this week for our midweek update. And we want to share with you, as you've heard a little bit already about, an initiative that we really want to engage you with and invite you to, and that is our prayer initiative, and specifically trying to make more of an engagement for you and more of an intention for all of us to spend time praying together. We understand that prayer is an important part of life for Jesus followers, but it's also a very important part of life for the church together. There's great power when we band together and come before God to pray for those things that maybe we're sensing or discerning from Him that are important. So, Clarence, I know you feel pretty strongly about this, as do I. We've been talking about this for a long time, it seems like now. Just share a little bit with us about what's in your mind and what's on your heart as far as this initiative might go for us.
Okay. Well, at this point in time, COVID, instead of slowing, seems to be increasing again.
Yes.
And so it doesn't look as though we're going to be able to get together in a larger group anytime soon that we know of. But the laws allow us to get together in smaller groups, and that's actually very conducive to prayer. So we are hoping that people will show an interest in this, and we will be able to get people who will sign up and get together to meet in prayer personally, where we can still distance, but still be together, or to get together in Zoom type of meetings, so that we can pray. And
Sure.
We, as Pastor Dave already mentioned, it's certainly a mandate of the church, and we know that in the last few years the Lord has given us a mandate to pray for the church, and we've seen God working in ways where we thought the church might fail, and yet He's brought it back to life and brought the churches in Wheatley to a place where we work together. So we're hoping that our prayer will reach out not just to our individual congregation here, but to the other churches in Wheatley who are interested, and we will be able to see progress in that way as we seek God and seek to move forward with Him.
Yeah. A lot of the conversation that many of you and I have together deals around isolation and loneliness. And even when we pray together, sometimes that's on the phone. A lot of times it's been on the phone lately. Those are the prayers that seem to come out. People are really struggling with that. And I think, one of the things that praying together as a community of faith can really do is to help encourage each other and to help us endure through some of these times. And I feel the same way, as Clarence said. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a while before we're back together in the numbers that we would all like to be, where we can see each other and fellowship with each other and worship together. But the other thing that really strikes me, and I'd be interested in to hear what you say here too, Clarence, but the first century church, the early church, they spent great time together in small groups, worshiping and praying. Isn't that so?
Yeah. I often think of that when I think of how we get together in larger groups, but sometimes we neglect the smaller groups, because it says they met from home to home,
Yes.
Sometimes daily, and did those kind of things, and their prayer was very effective in bringing people to Christ, and many different things that God wanted to do, because they were listening to Him and following His instructions.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that this will be a time when we can actually begin to move the church forward as we seek Him and listen and obey His instructions.
Yes. Yeah. So really, you heard me talk a little bit about this on our past Sunday service, and we'll continue to keep this front and center in our conversation. But really, from the time where you're watching this video now, on our website, you'll actually see, for those of you that access that, you'll actually see, and I'll put a link up on the bottom of the screen right now, you'll be able to see this, where you can go to our website And at the title bar on the top, you're going to see the word prayer. And if you click on that word prayer, it'll take you to another page that just talks about some of the things Clarence and I have been talking about here. Why is a prayer meeting important? What is some of the value that a prayer meeting can offer for us as a community of faith? And then even just a little bit of a guide that would show you what would a prayer meeting be like. I know some of you have been a part of prayer meetings before, but I know some of you have not been too, and you might have questions about what's that about. And so there'll be a little bit of a guide there to show you what that could be like. And you'll also see there's also another page attached to that would actually give you some specific opportunities to engage with this. So one of those is going to be a button there to sign up. And we'll talk in a minute about a couple different formats that we're thinking about using. And then also a specific page that you could actually print off that would allow you to capture some of your own prayer requests or praise items and use one of those sessions that we want to provide. In addition to that, on that page, we'll also keep a bit of a ledger there. Clarence and I have talked about this, and we think it's important that we'd be able to have, in an appropriate way, we'd be able to have some items that we're capturing there where people can see how we're praying together, and then most importantly, how God might be moving in some of those manners.
Right.
That's important.
Right, that's, we've set that up, and to be able to take part in it, you'll be able to contact the church here to sign
Yes.
up. And Pastor David, are there other ways that they can sign up? They call or?
Sure. Yeah. So there's a few different methods. We want to make this as easy as possible. So if you're on the website, you can click the sign up button. It'll take you to a page that you can fill out just your name and your address, and we'll contact you. You can also call the church and leave a message on the voicemail. You can email the church directly, and so I've got those on the bottom that you're watching here right now. You'll see that there. So all of those ways, and heck, lots of you just send a text or a messenger or call me directly. Go ahead and do that. Even Clarence too. We just want to make it really easy for you to engage if that's something that you're feeling called to, and frankly, we think we should all be feeling called to that right now in this time.
So we set up a couple of times next week
Right.
to begin that process,
Yes.
and we set some times. And if you have other times that you would prefer, please let us know. But I'm going to take next Friday, April 30th at 10 a.m. To come to the building here, and we can have 10 people at the most,
Right.
gathering together, and we'll meet in a place where we can keep lots of distance
Yeah.
and yet follow this format that we just mentioned to begin our prayer meeting. And if we would like to do it differently, that's fine,
Yeah.
according to the individuals. But if a larger number of people sign up, we would try to set different times, different places and stuff.
Exactly.
And also a Zoom meeting, I believe that Pastor Dave was.
Yeah, I'll host, because I know sometimes, right now we're not all comfortable getting together, and we've got lots of technology, and so many of you are very adept at using Zoom for various things. So we would provide on that same week, so this is next week, on Thursday evening at 7 p.m., we'd have the same process, the same experience, maybe not exactly the same, because we really think this should be done together in person, but we know that's just not always practical for people, and so we don't want that to limit us. We don't want it to stop us, and so we'll offer that opportunity on Zoom on this coming Thursday at 7 p.m. And it will be our intention, really, that be a weekly occurrence.
Right.
Okay? We want there to be an opportunity for people to gather each week and have a time of prayer together, both corporately, but also individually, right? We want there to be prayer as a community, but for those of you that want individual prayer, and I know there's lots of that out there, we want that opportunity for you as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And we talked about maybe trying to kick this off with kind of an event where we take a day and have every 15 minutes a different person pray. That's not something we have in full detail yet, but we'd like to eventually get that out to you and see if you're interested, and that will. We've done that kind of thing in the past. I think it's a number of years now ago now, but to see who's interested in praying, and that's something that might get us started.
Absolutely. In fact, you might hear a little more about that on our announcement sections on the Sunday service. There'd be a good opportunity for us just to put something more specific in front of you. We want, and you're probably gathering this. We want you to start to become a little more aware, hopefully a little more encouraged, and then that creates a little bit more desire to be involved in this initiative. So that's really what this is about. Just to kind of recap quickly for you, there's a link on your page. If you go there, you can find out more about what the Belong Prayer Initiative is about. So we'll be gathering in person. So Friday, April the 30th. So that's the week after this week. Clarence will be hosting a session here in person at the church at 10 a.m. And then the day prior to that, on the Thursday at 7 p.m., I would host the same type of format, although virtually, obviously, at 7 p.m. On Zoom. So you can sign up for those either directly on the website, and you can see the link for that here, or you can always call or email the church office. You could call or email us directly, and then we'll make sure we've got you plugged into the appropriate group, depending on what your needs are there. Okay. Great, folks. That's really the extent of our video for this week. And I just maybe ask, not to be comical or to create a pun or anything, but would you pray for this? That we think this is very important, especially during this time where so many people are needing encouragement and needing opportunities for fellowship and community. This is a great way for us to come together as a church in that way. So would you pray for this, that people would be encouraged to participate in this initiative, and then frankly be fed by it.
Right.
Very good. Blessings, and hope you have a great rest of your week.
Thank you.
I know.